Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video for Ark Genesis. Today in this video, folks, I'm going to be showing you 5 amazing locations where you can build bases in the Arctic on Ark Genesis. I am actually going to show you more locations than 5, but some of them are a bit iffy simply because they are in a mission area. However, the game seems to allow me to place structures there, so I don't know if I have a setting wrong. So for that reason, there are actually more locations than 5 in this particular video. So I'm going to start with the location that I am at currently. Now this is a good location. It is a very large platform where you can build, and it's fairly straight as well, and there are several amazing locations here that are quite generally well hidden, and that is what I am to focus and showcase. So let's get with this location. As you can see, most of you will know it. It's quite visible, but there are many more locations like this, which is what I will show you. I will of course show you the coordinates as well for it. I will not of course bring out the map because I don't have the marker enabled for this particular game as of yet, but you can place foundations down. It is fairly flat, it is well high off the ground, so it's going to make it very difficult to raid, so it's more of a PvP location, if you will. Now of course what I'm going to show this video will tend to look at locations that would be difficult to raid, so it is going to keep in mind the PvP side of things, but it's also going to look at the PvE side of it. And here's another location for a base. It's quite close to the next one, so maybe you can have another neighbor. Again, not part of the mission area, and allows me to place down structures. It is smaller than the first, so this could be a medium tribe sort of location, and it can be close to the other one. But if I were to build in the first one, I'd build on this one as well, try and take over them, because this could also be an area where somebody could put in a fob and try and attack from there. So I would definitely cover both of them if you're on PvP. Here we are with the next location. Now as you can see, it's quite misty up here, and it does give me the mission marker down in the lower right corner, but weirdly enough it allows me to actually build. So this is what you'd see from down here. It is quite foggy and misty. It would be difficult to spot a base. Now there is a downside to this location, so again, just to kind of show you that it allows me to put down foundations, which is really weird. But if you go down this way, you've got quite a lot to build, and you can actually get up with this bridge. So it does take some defending with this location, but next to it is another good location, which I'll show you in a bit. So you do have contact with the ground if you come down this way. This would be more of a PvE location if the game allows us to build here. I'm not sure, I'll have to look at my settings, but I thought I'd put this one in just because. And next to it is that right there. Notice that we are out of the mission zone, so from down here it's very difficult to spot something up there, and again from up there very difficult to spot anything down there. Fairly flat, a decent platform where you can build. Now obviously you don't have access to water up here, but you can build a waterless base just as good. So I'm going to gain some height here just to kind of show you, because you can't see stuff if you're high up, which is what I've noticed. There are several locations. I'll keep the GPS out. I am going to go through them fairly quick, so if you have any interest in any of these locations, feel free to pause the video and write down the coordinates for anything that you see. Next location, as you can see from down here, you can barely see where the cliff ends. Now here there's nothing of interest, but you can maybe use this as a defense or line of defense. And up here we have a fairly flat surface, and there are these like steps here which you can probably get up with the use of a ferox. It shouldn't be too difficult for a ferox to scale, but again, a flat surface, a great sized flat surface, so you can build a decent sized base. And on that shelf below you can build some sort of defensive system, towers and whatnot. and next to it you have another location where you can build once again. So this is location number 3, or yeah, number 3, because I'll count this as location number 2 to be fairly honest, even though the other one that I showed did have surrounding locations where you could build that were not part of the mission area. Another location right here, smaller slightly, similar, with a sort of step like ramp going up, which would make it easy for a Ferox to scale, but equally speaking, from a PvP perspective, it could be quite difficult to overtake. So I can see the Arctic biome having lots of areas that would be good for PvP. Another one right there, but this one's actually close to the wall, so never mind. I thought it'd be closer or farther away. So I'll have a look from the air. As you can see, these are the cliffs where you can try and build stuff. This one's actually close to... okay, so maybe this might not allow me to build. Right. It won't snap to the ground, this one. So that's kind of good and bad at the same time. It's a structure where you could build, but aren't clearly allowed to do it. Okay, another location. This is again both PvP and PvE. They work just as fine as this right here. You have a fairly flat surface. It's not perfectly flat, but it is high up off the ground, and you can build a decent sized base around this area. It is going to be difficult to access even from the ground. You will need, of course, to have a Ferox or something like that. And right next to it, you've got that little portion right there, which is similar to this, so you can have your base spread out on these two little platforms, if you want to call it that, or these little mountains. Decent in size, good location, decent height to make it difficult to raid. So this is location number 3, let's call it that, or 4. We've got a nice little frozen waterfall right there just to add to the look of the place. And I guess we can call this one location number 5. Similar to the one before, close to the map's border. Slightly larger than that one, so you can have a really large base here. This is more for a larger tribe, or a tribe that wants to have a large base. Just as flat as the other one. Not perfectly flat, but you have some metal. You have all sorts of wood and animals spawning here. So a good sort of place to build a giant base, especially for an alpha tribe on a PvP server. So I'll show you that it's not part of a mission area right now, and that we can build on it. So I'll just give you an outline of the whole platform. And here we are with another location. This one's kind of difficult to build on, but difficult to raid at the same time. So to my right, I have the world border, which means you cannot actually come from this side. You can cover this one up. As you can see, it's quite cliffy, but it only has one way up. So this is where you can build. This is, again, I suppose more of a PvP sort of base. PvE as well. If you want to build here, you are secluded. There is a bit of mist around, so it's going to be difficult to spot from the ground. Obviously, flying is not a thing on Ark Genesis. And here are the coordinates. Now, this is quite an interesting area. It's also good for PvE. So, in terms of PvP, you do have one way up into this area. And I'll kind of show you where the mission markers are, and you can build here, but it's just going to be a bit of an interesting location to build. And here we are with another location. Notice that I have the mission marker in my lower right corner when I do go to it. So again, one of those questionable locations where I do question if I can build or not, but I thought I might as well show it. It is difficult to raid if you can build on this location, simply because there's only certain areas that this sort of location can be accessed from, and that is through climbing. And it does allow me to build, although I get the mission marker. Not a straight and flat place, but nonetheless, I thought I'd show it out it is visible, so if you do build here a base, you will clearly be seen by other players. And it is kind of like a little, I don't know, an arch sort of thing. So it will take a bit of work with regards to trying to build a base there. That is pretty much it for this video, folks. I think I'm going to end it here. I'll just show you the surroundings before I do. You can also build down there if you want. But yeah, that is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.